Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope this finds you doing great. Jesus is not a colorist. Jesus is not a racist. Jesus is not a skin tone bigot. Jesus is a God of variety. God is a God of variety. God is a God of diversity and inclusivity. And He created the various ethnic groups. The various ethnic groups He created. He even divided the earth by languages. Remember the Tower of Babel when man decided that they were going to keep building and we're not going to, you know, cover the earth as they had been commanded to do. So Jesus created it all. If you cut my skin, if you cut the skin of someone who lives in Malawi, if you cut the skin of a white person, or a blue person, or whatever color, or whatever language the person speaks, it's the same blood that flows in all of us. It's the same color. We're made of the same stock. We're not different. So I smile when debates of Jesus race come up. Like, was Jesus black or was Jesus white? And some people say Christianity is a white man's religion. uh I listen and I laugh, and at first I thought it didn't really matter. Yeah, I thought it didn't really, like, what's the big deal whether Jesus is black or blue. But then I had a conversation with someone once, and this man didn't want to hear anything about God. He didn't want to hear anything about God. I don't know what even brought about the conversation in the first place. So I started to refer to him, to show him some scriptures. Yeah. Let me show you this particular scripture. Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. I read the scripture to him. He's referring to Jesus. His hair and his hairs are white like wool, as white and the funny thing, what follows white as snow, and his eyes were as the flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they were burnt in a furnace. And other versions will say like bronze, burnt bronze, or something like that. And other scriptures actually say his hair like wool, not necessarily referring to the color. It doesn't say like his hair white as wool, but other scriptures that refer to his hair as being like wool. And I showed him this scripture and a couple of scriptures and a couple of scriptures and a couple of arguments, man-made arguments, but how Jesus could be black. But you know what? It doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't really matter. But after my conversation with this man, and he's in how there was a possibility, people have said it, there's a possibility Jesus could be black. For the first time, he was willing to consider Christianity for the first time in his life. He was willing. Yes, other arguments that I remember, other arguments that I brought to his attention was the fact that a lot of the Ghanaian and African groups, ethnic groups, are really tracing their lineage to the Jewish. A number of them. And funny thing, I know, for instance, in Ghana, there are a number of ethnic groups that have reason enough to believe that their lineage can be traced. I don't know about it all, but I know about the Akan one. Somebody um, was explaining this to me, and he said even in the Akan language, there's so many similarities, between the Jewish culture and the Akan culture, including circumcision, including uh, naming of a child on the seventh day, including, and they're actually like in historical accounts of how when the white man came to Africa. This conversation was from years ago. How the white man came to Africa and saw some fishermen wearing the Jewish effort. You know that the Levites would wear with the 12 stones. They would see them, and that was like the traditional wear. And also, let me see if I can remember language. You know how in the Akan, the Tree language, the name for Saturday is Miniminida, meaning I am that I am, right? And one of the greatest symbol of the Jewish the first covenant between God and Yahweh, the biggest symbol was the Sabbath, and it was a Saturday, right? And that's a Akan word for Saturday, mene meneda. And this friend of mine went on to share with me a number of things about their Akan culture and the language itself that very similar to the Jewish culture and Jewish customs and tradition and things of that nature. And I'm pretty sure there are a number of other ethnic groups in Ghana that have, you know, that can say the same thing. Okay. But at the end of the day, God created color. He created, and He's a God of variety, diversity. And let me share. In my life, I have had a number of encounters with angels. I've had a number of encounters with angels, and I would tell you. So many times they would come to to bring a message, or they would come to comfort. They would come to bring tell you what God's about to do, things of that nature. And every time I've encountered these angels, they never appeared to me as white. And this is here's why I think this is. If I were a white person, I don't think that angels would come to me as a black, as black angels. They appear to me because I have black skin, and so I think that's why they appear to me as black. But if they went to a white person, if an angel appeared to a white person, I think they would appear to them in their race. This is all the same thing. So yeah, so it doesn't really matter whether Jesus is black or he's blue or he's green. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that He came and He died for us. He died for humanity, that whoever believes in Him will not perish, but will have everlasting life. All right, thanks for watching. See you in my next video.